going on? RGIJ is back, baby. Hello? We're back. Damn, Mike, how long is it? I felt like I haven't talked to you forever. It's been a long ass time because
like
we've been having some good interviews going on. So no complaints about that. But yeah, I felt like it's been forever, man, since you and I just sat and did an episode together.
Yeah, I think maybe what, August, maybe?
So we've been on for what, a year now?
Yeah, you and I have been doing this for over a year.
Happy anniversary, man. It's been
I think it was like in August though, honestly.
Yeah. I got a memory on there from when we first started our episode that popped up on Facebook. So I was like, man, we've been on for quite some time. So that's awesome. Well, happy anniversary. I do want to say, before we just talk about whatever we want to talk about, but as everyone knows, Florida experienced Hurricane Ian.
That's right.
I do want to give some prayers out there and hope for the best, especially for my friends. I've seen some of the pictures that they posted, the damages their houses sustained. I know some have completely lost their stuff. Material possessions, things that were valuable to them, invaluable to them, memorable to them, and everything else. So my prayers to all my friends who are suffering from this. I mean, thank God that, here in Orlando, we got a little bit of damage to certain areas, but not as impactful as it was in Fort Myers and in some of those other locations down by the coast, by the Gulf. But it was crazy, man. Hurricane Ian, apparently they were saying it was a little bit bigger than Charlie that happened many years ago. But I'm just fortunate I haven't heard or read of any fatalities. Everything's just basically been mostly just damages to homes and things of that nature. But like one of my friend posted, he showed his home being damaged and everything else, but he ended it with, I'm just glad that we have a health and we're still living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I actually went to church today, believe it or not. I went to church with my brother, and one of the pastors made that point. He said, I'm grateful to see all of you have attended today because the things that have been damaged or impact are just materialistic. They're just possession items. They're things that can be renewed. They're things that can be replaced and everything else. So he was like, God would take care of everything, but just be grateful that God gave you another chance, another day basically to continue to live life. So again, I'm just glad I haven't read, at least people that I know, they haven't lost anybody or anything like that. And I really don't know where the hurricane is at now. I'm assuming it's probably more going up north and everything else. But again, prayers to those that did get impacted by it. It truly sucks and everything. But it's just horrible, man. It's the 4 years that I've been living here, I've never experienced a hurricane. When I was stationed in Oklahoma, we had, the tornadoes that came through there and everything else. But I'm just fortunate that I live so inland that by the time it got to me, it was like a category 1. So I just really faced like just rain. I had little puddles seeping in my home. Just the wind was gusting like over 60 miles per hour, maybe 75 or so, but never anything where my roof was gone, my house was gone or anything like that. So thank God for that. But yeah, man, for those that survived it and everything else and, are still living life or whatnot, prayers to all of you. And hopefully you guys are able to get back on your feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to them. It was just crazy that this hurricane happened. I'm just glad we're not getting back-to-backs. I know there was one period where Florida was getting back-to-back hurricanes and everything. So I'm just glad we're not facing those hardships like we did before.
Yeah.
So, but besides that, my teams are winning, so I'm happy about that. My Giants won today. I got my New York Mets playing later on. My Rangers are winning. So in the sports arena, my New York teams are doing well. Got to give a shout out to Philly. They're so far undefeated. But hopefully we'll play them soon and see what happens when we play them. New York will beat that Philly ass.
Oh, yeah?
But Do you go to water parks? Do you ever take your family to water parks?
No, we're good.
Or are you interested in water parks? Will you ever do that?
I'm not interested where there's a lot of people.
Okay. So I went to Aquatica. Aquatica here is a big water park in Florida or the Orlando, Disney area, whatnot. And the only thing I could think about was how many of these fucking kids are peeing in this water that we're jumping in. Like it was a big pool, you know, because we had my nieces and everything else, and I'm just like, you know, these kids are just in here just peeing it up left and right. Like there's no like, mommy, take me to the bathroom or anything like that. And I'm, you know, a bunch of us are just sitting in the water. And we're like, yay, water, splash, splash, water. And I'm just like, oh, man, this shit is infested with urine left and right. Because I know they're not being taken to the bath. They're not telling mom. They're just going right there.
Yeah.
Just going.
And I saw the other adults, too, as well.
Yeah,
you know, an adult. Yeah, you know there's somebody sitting there like, man, the restroom's over there. I'll just get in the water. Fuck it.
Especially, like, if you're, like, one of those like me where you're like having a drink here and there, go in the water, have a drink here and there, go in the water. You know, you're absolutely right. These adults are not, they're like, that's too far.
Yeah, those are probably worse than the kids. Because they've been holding on to it for like hours. They just got to go a fucking mountain and shit.
Dude, and the bad part is that parents are in there. They're like, yay, splash, splash. Throw water on mommy, throw water on daddy. Yay, splash, splash. And I'm just like, man, we're just swimming in this infested water. This is crazy. Yeah. But water parks are fun, though. I just like the rides. So they have like a lot of those rides where they open the bottom and they shoot you down the water slide. I like the other ones that they put you in like a little a raft or thing, a tube thing, and they slide you down and you get to go. So what was funny was it was me, my brother, my nephew, and another person was with us. So you're allowed 4 people on the ride, right? So what they do before you get on the tube, you're supposed to get on a scale. So the scale can't go past 600 pounds. Again, it's me, my brother, my nephew, and another person. I think it was a female. So we get on, you know, the lady, the attendant, she says, okay, go ahead and get on the scale. We get on the scale, Mike, and the alarm starts going off. Because I guess we weighed over 600 pounds. And we're all looking at each other like, damn, like, who's the fat one here? Who's the fat person on this weight scale that put us over 600 pounds? But yeah, she was like, you guys can't get on this, only 2 at a time. You guys are too heavy. So I went down with one of my nephew's friends or my sister's friends. And
you should sue them right now.
I should.
You should say they're body shaming you.
You're right. I should.
You should.
Aquatica and be like, yo, we don't weigh 600 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
Like, or if you do, I don't care if you do. You made me feel bad.
Yeah.
You should get a lawyer and just be like, hey, guess what? Your scale made me feel bad about myself. I'm suing the shit out of you.
I went home. I was depressed. I was traumatized.
I fucking ate some more and gained 10 more pounds. Like, I don't feel good about myself right now.
I went on a hunger depression and just kept eating.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, dude, we got on there and the alarm sounded. We were like, yo, what the fuck is happening right now? She's like, get on the scale. All right. You guys need to get off the scale because you guys are too heavy. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I know I'm like 205 maybe or so.
You ain't no 205. You're probably pushing 225, 230,
Come
235.
On, you crazy. Never. My older brother on the other one was probably pushing 230, 235.
When was the last time you got on a weight scale?
I want to say 2-3 weeks ago.
So you got to do it every day?
Do you do it every day?
Actually, I do, yeah. I weigh myself every day.
Let's talk about your workout routine.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so what are you doing? What's the process? I know you talked about that you started with your boy. You know, he's helping you or he put you on the path to lose weight. So where you started at before you started the process?
So in January, before I started, so I'm working with Marcus Caudill. We do another podcast, Aesthetic Business.
Right.
And so we served together. He's a veteran. So we served together. And he's been doing bodybuilding, like coaching. He coaches bodybuilders, actors, like models, and like, you know, for magazines and those type of things. So he does a lot of those people.
Yeah, I follow him on IG. So he does showcase a lot of his clientele, whatever, for like Vegas and things like
it's
that.
always risque stuff. Like it's always these girls, and I mean, but that's what he does. He takes people that they're out of shape or whatever, and he can get them. He gets them ready for photo shoots, for shows, bodybuilding shows, bikini shows, and he's really good at what he does. And so what we decided, and he wanted to start working on, because he's into real estate. Okay. And so I'm a realtor here, and so I'm here, a realtor in Texas, in Lubbock, and I'm like, we're looking at properties together. So we work on that aspect, for that to help him. But he does a lot of real estate. He also does stuff for like the whole life insurance. Have you heard of that? So it's called infinite banking. So it's a way for you to become your own banking system, pretty much. So I'm started doing that. So in a couple of years, let's say I want to take out like 10 grand to go buy a car. Well, instead of go getting a loan, I'll take it out of my whole life insurance policy, and then I'll pay myself back. Okay. And so it just keeps going round and round and round and round. But I'm the bank now, and so that's the whole life insurance policy.
Did you guys do? I think you guys did an episode on that. Yes.
Oh, not in depth yet. We're gonna try to get the guy, my boy Cameron, who did my stuff. But this is a lot of thing that wealthy people do, right? Like they, instead of going to banks, that they are the bank, and so there's that. So he does a lot of financing stuff too as well. So he wanted to do a coaching program that does fitness and for entrepreneurship, because to be an entrepreneur, man, you got to do a lot of things. Like you're working 14, 16 hours a day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the healthier you look, the better you look, the more confident you look, the more people want to do deals with you. And so, that's it. So we started out at 205.9 in January. Okay. So January 2022, we're now October. I'm around 175-ish. I woke up at 176 this morning, but I just got back from a work trip. So
did on the work trip, I think I saw a video that you did some morning workouts, some sprints.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So So I was in Phoenix this last week. I was in Phoenix, and I was at a real estate conference. So we're at a real estate conference for work, right? For real estate. And just because I'm over there doesn't mean it's free, right? And what I mean by free is in like the schedule. So I wake up every day at 4:59, and I woke up over there at 2:59, so that way I can keep my same schedule. Correct. So we're waking up at fucking 3 a.m. and we're working out. And so, but like, I don't have my gym. I don't have any of that stuff. So I'm running. I went to a parking lot and was just running up and down sprints, push-ups, just doing the basics. Right. Went to a track, we're doing military workouts in a sense, running around the track, push-ups, sit-ups, flutter kicks, run again, every lap, that type of things. But yeah, the diet don't stop. Today's Sunday, so I'm more relaxed. I'm having the food I want to have, but it was tuna, nuts, like not cheating on my diet, making sure that, I'm eating chicken. I went to like Sprouts, walked to Sprouts and got like an actual rotisserie chicken so I could have it for a couple of days. Yeah. So that's, and then, overnight oats and, packing my own food, packing my supplements, and make sure I have tons of workload was pretty much my most like, hey, this is how we're going to do it.
So where you at now? What's your weight cut?
Today I woke up at 176. So
okay, what's
not the
goal?
best right now.
Was that
I would like
goal?
To be down to one, huh?
Was that the goal for your weight?
What's up?
Was that the goal for your weight?
There is no goal for the weight, actually. Okay. So that's what's kind of a little bit different. Yeah. So what's cool is like, there's no weight. There's no actual like, hey, I'm going to get to this and we're going to turn it around. All we're doing right now is we're getting to a weight. And then, he's going to let me know and say, okay, cool. We're going to back off of that. We're going to start building up for the winter. So we're going to start, it's called like reverse dieting. So instead of always dieting down, you want to gain some little bit of weight. We put on some more muscle, get some more stuff and get ready for the winter. And then after the winter, we'll shed a lot of some of the fat off and we'll just keep getting like less fat, more muscle every time. Okay. And so it's a process, but I honestly don't really know. I just, I have check-ins with him every Saturday. I'll send him photos and my weight and my foods. Like this is what I'm eating. And then he'll let me know, hey, we're going to make this little change or we're going to keep it the same. We're going to keep going forward, those type of things.
That's cool, man. But I'll be honest with you. I feel like the hardest thing is the discipline piece. You know what I'm saying? Because don't get me wrong. I like to work out, but I like to work out just to maintain because I know I'm getting older and I just don't want to let myself go because I know my body will fucking blow up big time. Right. But I just feel like for me, the hardest, and I know it doesn't need to be the hardest, but I probably make it the hardest, is when I do go on vacations, I don't take the time to find a day or something to go and work out. Like if I come to see you on Thursday I'm hoping that I already worked out earlier on that day, so I'm already good on Thursday. But then
Right.
come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you're not telling me, hey man, let's go to the gym, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is probably going to be restaurant, bar, splurge, drink, fuck the diet. And
Right.
that whole weekend is pretty much just going to be shot. And I
Yeah.
just feel like that's the hardest. Like my buddy Matt, he could do it because now that he's sobriety, like he's already routine that I'm getting up and I'm going to the gym. So when I go
Yeah.
visit him, I know I'm good that I'm going to get a workout because he's wants to work out.
Right.
So even if I go see him on a weekend, I'm pretty gonna much work out that weekend because he's gonna be like, "Yo, let's go to the gym," instead of saying, "Hey, let's go to the bar." You
Yeah.
know, whereas when I go visit people who like to drink and go out, it's a different thing. You know, we're gonna go to a bar, we're gonna have a restaurant, go to lunch, do brunch, whatever the case would be. So for me, I feel like that's the hardest, is just to be disciplined in that, because then I'm not coming back and saying, "Fuck, I missed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let me double time my workout on Monday. Let me do like 2 a day just to make up for what I felt like I lost." You know what I'm saying? Would you agree with that? That discipline is hard, man?
Well, I don't think so, man. So I went with a whole bunch of realtors that don't work out. So
Yeah.
I'm the only one who works out, right? Like, I'm being serious. Like, nothing, you know what I mean? Like, one of the other guys, he ran a marathon, so he just ran a marathon. But the majority of people that I work with don't work out. So it's my whole thing though is like, okay, that's fine. I'll just wake up early, and that's why I woke up. I woke up early. Woke up at 3 a.m. And was I tired? Yes. Which I've been trying to I'm really taking that vocabulary out of my thing. But it's, you know, when it comes to discipline and stuff like that, I don't think it's discipline. It's just like, what do you want to do?
Right.
But also I've been working out I work out 5 to 6 days a week for almost the last 20 years. So it's a little bit easier to sit there and say like, hey, we know I'm going to work out. Plus it's like, I got to work out, man. For me, I look at it as a mental health.
Right.
I need to work out. If I don't work out, man, I'm angry. I'm cranky. Man, I can get depressed really fast. I can get suicidal if I don't just do that. So to me, I look at it as like, okay, it's going to take, you know, and I went to go work out for an hour, right? So everyone's asleep. I take off to go run, which I ran. I was running. It hurts my knees. My knees are hurting so bad because of the concrete, right? Like it hurts. I found out we weren't in a good area in the Airbnb. I was running around places and they all had like, you know, the gates closed and that type of thing. I ran past like a homeless dude on a bench. And I was like, okay, you know, time, you know, let's go around. We're not probably on the safest part of town.
That's sightseeing, man. That's sightseeing in Arizona.
No, because it's 4 a.m. You know, you know it's 4 a.m. You know you're around people that don't want to be around at 4 a.m. There was a dude that was working on like a light. You know, he was like a city worker. Yeah, and I was like, I ran by him. And you know, they're just looking at me like, "What the fuck is this dumbass? Like, are you on drugs?" You know what I mean? Like,
they probably look like, "Yo, what's happening? Why is he running? Is somebody behind him?"
Yeah, why is he? He's all on like phone headphones and just running and shit. Like, the fuck, who does this around here? Like, the fuck, are you on drugs, kid? Like,
that's funny. Now, do you work out? Well, you were in Airbnb. If you were in a hotel, would you have worked out in the hotel?
Yeah, like, you know,
I tried to do that.
I would have done the same thing, man. Like I said, I took nothing. I took push-ups, sit-ups. I mean, old school military workouts. That's what I do, honestly. I'll just sit there and be like, okay, cool. If I can't run nowhere, I'll do running in place. I'll do jumping jacks. I'll do jump rope. I will do whatever it takes. And that for me, like, that's why it's not really discipline, because I don't look at it as discipline. I look at it, it is what it is. Like, that's just what I do, right?
Okay.
Like the same way I say I'm a veteran. That is what I do. If I'm a father, it's just something I do, so I don't even think about it. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And like, I was journaling too. So you get to a point where you're doing all these things, and by the time people were getting up and getting ready, I've already worked out. I've already gotten ready. I'm reading a book. I've just journaled a little bit. I'm doing all these things ahead of people, but it's not for them. And so I think that's the whole point about the discipline. For me, the working out isn't about to work out. I imagine myself at like that. I'm at 95 years old and I'm talking to my great grandkids and I'm telling them about my life. Well, in order to be 95 and be healthy and do all the things I want to do in life, all these grand things, I need to be in shape. I need to be healthy. So it's a little bit easier when you're looking at it and they're saying every day is just to get better, right? I was having a conversation with the wife earlier today, and I was like, for me, my goal every day is just to be a little bit better than I was the day prior. That's it. You know what I mean? I was talking to a guy and we're talking about for diet for him. I mean, this individual doesn't eat healthy, right? So I was like, hey, look, like, instead of like instead of completely, eggs and rice and tilapia and all that stuff, let's not do that. How about today, if you had 3 Cokes, how about you have 2.5? That's it. Nothing new.
Right.
And then when that becomes normal, pour the other half out and you just go to 2. And I think that's the biggest problem with everybody is they're looking at it as it's really hard to do. But, like let's say you go visit somebody and they don't drink. But if you tell them, hey, I just work out, they'll tell you either where to go or they'll be like, I'll go with you or I'll take you somewhere or something like that, right? Because, you know what I mean? So that's how I kind of look at it too. And if there's nothing like that, like, hey, where can I go run at? And people will tell you, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you want it bad enough and if you're on vacation, you're not really like, it's not like there's no taking time off from the gym.